Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
We're going to go light today. It's the holiday season. And we're going to go light today, but hoppy.
Light and hoppy.
This is a salute to one of our longest running fans, Greg McGill down in New Zealand. He's been a fan of, he's listened to Basic Brewing Radio from the very beginning, back in July of 2005. So he deserves a medal.
I'll say.
But what we're going to do today, he contacted me because he wanted to do it. He now owns a brewery in Hamilton, New Zealand, called Brewocracy. And he wanted to do a collaboration recipe with me for some reason. And so I said, okay, what am I known for? These silly little, low-gravity rye-based beers.
Yeah.
So he kind of took the plunge, and he remember my rye wit recipe, yes. Which is a low-gravity beer with just wheat and rye, no barley. And he took that base malt and he put a little New Zealand twist. So this is my clone of his recipe, which was based off my recipe. So it's all it's all regurgitated back in on itself. Okay, so here we go. This is a 5-gallon or 19-liter batch, and it only has 3 pounds or 1.4 kilograms of torrefied wheat and 2 pounds or 900 grams of malted rye. And I put that into 8 gallons or 30 liters of water at 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 C. I mashed at 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 C for 90 minutes. And I collected my wort, and into that wort for a 60-minute boil, I started with half an ounce or 14 grams of East Kent Golding at 5% alpha acid. And then after the 60-minute boil, at the end of that, at flame out, I did 2 ounces or 56 grams of Nelson Sauvin hops at 11.7% alpha acid, and I held that for 5 minutes for a 5-minute hop stand. And after fermentation, I added 3 ounces or 85 grams of Nelson Sauvin and 2 ounces or 56 grams of Centennial at 9.7% alpha acid for dry hop, and I dry hopped for 3 days. So I fermented with A07 Flagship from, I forgot to mention, from Imperial Organic Yeast. The starting gravity was only 1021, the final gravity 1008 for an ABV of, I believe, 1.7%. I didn't write it down in my little book here, but we'll put it down on the bottom if I'm wrong. So, and I'm working with you. I've got a keg fill today too, Steve. So
yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
Well, it's a mighty pretty little beer, little filly of a beer. And I have to confess that I had a glass of this with my lunch, so I'm a little ahead of you. Well, you've had this. I mean, I'm sure you have. But I had a glass at lunch, and it's really nice. How can you not like that? It's crisp. It's refreshing. It's got a great beat. It's easy to dance to.
It smells great.
Give it a 7. Yeah, it smells great. When you listed all the hops, I got a little scared. I mean, there's a lot of hops in here, and I was like, "Oh, brother, what were you thinking?" But this is great.
In fact, I tasted the wort before fermentation, and it tasted pretty bitter to me, and I got a little nervous about it myself. But after fermentation, and even after 5 ounces of dry hopping, I think it holds up really nicely. It's the body is a teeny bit light, and I usually use, instead of torrefied wheat, I usually use malted wheat. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but it's interesting that the 2 pounds of malted rye had enough diastatic power to convert itself and that extra 3 pounds of torrefied wheat. So
and I don't mean this as a criticism at all, so don't take it that way. But the only thing that when I first sipped on it, I thought, oh, I wish it had just a little bit more body. But as I drank it over the course of a glass of it, I was like, no, this is just fine. This is great because it's so refreshing and it's so crisp and light. It's like at first it's just unexpected. It's unexpected that it's as light as it is, but once your palate adjusts to it, it just takes about 3 sips, 3 good glugs, and you're like, oh no, this is just right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think it's not watery at all.
no, it's not.
It's just a teeny bit lighter in body than what I'm used to, and I think that
Right.
it just takes a little. I think if you were to taste this against, say, a Miller Lite or one of those, ultra low carb beers, this
Yeah.
would be thick, in comparison.
It definitely would. And in fact, I drank it was a PBR. I drank a PBR the other night, and it's it's okay, but this has got a lot more body, a lot more mouthfeel. It's actually a lighter beer in terms of the calories, I'm sure, and the alcohol, but a way better beer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to get sued by the PBR folks, but that's just a review. And boy, if I had my druthers, I'd rather drink this any day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. I don't know what the calories are.
Well, that's a good point. I don't either. But I was just equating alcohol with calories. So
yeah. But at less than 2% alcohol, you could have several of these and be perfectly happy and not slur your words. And
and for somebody like me, I've got some health things going on, and I'm really backed away from drinking a lot. So this is really nice. And the next beer that I get in the fermenter is going to be about this strength. For me, I'm gonna, I'm gonna go down to the 1.5 to 2.5% beers. So I'm gonna start making.
Yeah.
So you've inspired me and given me hope that I don't have to quit drinking beer.
Well, I'm going to interview Greg, or planning to interview Greg for the radio show, the Basic Brewing Radio. So it'll be interesting to see what the Kiwis down there, his regular customers at the bar, think, because I think he was a little concerned, that they want a little bit of alcohol, when they drink their beers. Apparently, his customer base, and that's understandable. But I'm anxious or interested to see what the reviews from his customers are.
The hop character and the malt, the rye is a little spicy. It's got such a nice hop blend, and I mean, you got to like hops to like this particular beer, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a little IPA-ish. I know it's a rye wit. I know it's a wit, but it drinks to me flavor-wise more like an IPA.
Well, it's with Flagship, the Chico strain, so it is more of the rye wit is just a play on words, it's just it's just a pun.
But I mean, it is predominantly wheat, and so but it doesn't drink like a wheat beer.
No,
and the way it's hopped, it feels more like an American or West Coast style IPA, and it's just darn good.
And I like the balance. The Nelson Sauvin plays well with the Centennial.
Definitely.
And so it's a nice balance of hop character. So nicely done, job, Greg.
Well, I'll be really interested to see what the guys down there think, what everybody thinks down there in New Zealand about this. And I'm really anxious to see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's only 2%. I'm still. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I think I'm posting this to the general public on Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody's having a good, safely distanced holiday with your family, and cheers.
Zoom is our friend.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Safe and happy drinking, everybody. And brewing.
Cheers. Yeah.
Come and visit us online. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. If you're in Fayetteville, Arkansas, stop by Steve's Brew Shop or find him online at stevesbrewshop.com. I'm a lightweight. I'm running off the rails.